Ladies and gentlemen, we are now passing Earth. I know you decided not to let the Earth pass you by, but it's happening. Saying goodbye to Savannah this morning and driving over a very incredible looking bridge. Welcome everyone, Adam the Woo here, and by doing so, I believe I'm now currently in South Carolina. And this road is very, very bumpy. It's my second channel, daily vlog channel. It's TheDailyWoo. For real. Look at these. Look at the road. Fueling up. Takes about $100 to fill the tank, based on $2.19 on the Georgia-South Carolina border here at Bobops. And these guys were staring at me the entire time I was pumping the gas. Why don't you take a picture? It'll last longer. It's all good. They're cool. If you're looking for the definition of a back road, I think we found it. Doesn't get much more back road. Well, if it wasn't paved, it'd be a little more back roadish. But this falls into that category for sure. This is the Prince William Parish Church here in Sheldon, or at least what's left of it. It's now just ruins. But how incredible is this? Construction was completed in 1755, but it was burned by the British Army in 1779. Later in 1826, it was rebuilt, but then burned again by the Federal Army in 1865. I've always been fascinated by relics from this era and graves from that time period as well. This one dates back to 1851. The wrought iron fences, the fallen gravestones. This is Southern Gothic imagery at its finest, to say the least. I always imagine being transported back in time to this era, being a fly on the wall and just seeing people go about their daily routines. This one is dated 1861. That's 113 years before I was even born. Do you think in 150 years people will look back on our generation and our gravestones and think, those were the good old days? How did they ever get by without modern conveniences? It is an Anglican church primarily paid for by Lieutenant Governor William Bull I, who's buried here. Within this tomb lie the remains of Mary Bull. This might be the oldest I've probably ever seen in person. 1771. And here's another from 1760. And something you rarely see in this day and age, where it states, "Under this lies the body of Mary Middleton." You usually don't see that inscribed on graves anymore. I was talking to a few locals who were wandering around, and I was sharing my excitement on how far back the dates went. I guess it's all relative, because they were not completely overwhelmingly thrilled as much as I was. It's pretty commonplace, I guess, around this area of the country. Or perhaps I just get a little too excited over some of the most minuscule facts and things. Yes, yes, it works. It's not even summer yet, and humidity is starting to rear its ugly head, especially in the southern states. You can feel it permeating the atmosphere, the lower atmosphere. Is that the correct terminology? Gotta stay hydrated. And that is the after effect of the water splash. Got a little bit on the windshield. That's a hard note to hit. Let me try it again. Stopped off here because this is something you don't see too often. A Stuckey's that is still currently operational. The majority of them have either been closed, burned down, or completely bulldozed. I decided to get some whole cashews even though the pecan logs are always tempting. I didn't get one this time. Just some cashews and a soda. That particular store was lacking in the Stuckey's paraphernalia. You had to look around pretty hard to even find anything with the name on it. But I found something. When W.S. Stuckey Sr. opened his first pecan stand in 1937, he started selling all kind of novelties and all kind of little goodies. But his success, he attributed to his love for the American traveler. And he developed a friendship and a kinship with all those who stopped in his store. That's so cool. You can totally relate to that. An old abandoned facility, probably used for farming or maybe something of that nature. Could have been some shops. Uninhabited for a very long time. And I'm entering a town by the name of Bowman, where a UFO exists. At least it did 4.5, 5 years ago when I came through this area. Hopefully it's still around. Oh yeah, there it is. The UFO Welcome Center. But in reality, this did not land here. It was built by a gentleman by the name of Jody Pendarvis starting in 1994. And it looks as if either he or someone else has started building a secondary spaceship. And someone stole their TV. The missile leads the way and points towards more signage telling you where to enter and that space people are the only ones allowed. I've seen nearly every episode of Star Trek. I'm good, right? Now that I think about it, I think a new one is being built to replace the one that is slightly starting to show a little bit of age. But you can peek in and see what's inside. I've been staring at it for quite some time and I have yet to figure out how to get inside. I don't know how to get inside there. He knows. Well, maybe he doesn't because he's standing on the outskirts. Maybe no one or no thing knows how to actually get in there. But there's obviously stairwells and walkways. How the heck do you get up in that thing? It's possible that access must be granted by asking the supercomputer. Supercomputer, may I enter this? Why am I talking like it? Am I trying to fool the supercomputer? After further investigation, I figured out where the entry is. Right here. This lowers down and creates a walkway, but it is shut off. It is tied off. Fail. Around the back of the premises is another rocket. This one pointing towards the sky as if it's about to blast off. And an old car there. It has now officially been confirmed. Aliens like Budweiser. Now I just need to be heading back on the road. Can you tell me how to get to I-95? Okay, thank you. I didn't know that. I didn't realize that you placed a sign over here. Thank you for informing me of that. All joking aside, you gotta love yard art. That is incredible. Or maybe, you know what? Maybe the aliens really have landed. And if they are in the top of that thing, you think they look like E.T. or the one from Mac and Me? Looks as if some fresh crops have just been planted. Is that corn, I think?
Vlog over.